Hello, friends. You are thinking that I've changed the dress, right? Just I was speaking, there's a lot of sweat because AC in COVID time it is not allowed to operate the AC. That is the rule that is there. I'm just obeying it. So, friends, what I was talking about, my whole thing, my journey of life, it is not that I want to tell you what I have achieved. This is not my intention to tell you. It is to dissect individual life. They have their journey, and in this process everybody is doing something, but sometimes it is very important to critically analyze the whole thing. That will make you better person in future. So sometimes you don't have the access to interact with many people what you are exactly doing, whether you are doing the right thing or wrong thing, because I always believe you have one life. Probably you need to celebrate that life, whichever means, whichever path you want to take it, and you make a sustainable model in your life, so that in one hand you can run your family and also you can do your intellectual exercise what you have been doing. Or if you do not like to do intellectual activities, you can one can do a normal life, because those things, those exercises are not important for many people. They might think those are useless thing. In normal exercise, if somebody is telling experimenting on cat or experimenting on dog or experimenting on birds to understand the animal behavior, many other things, for a normal person to understand what somebody is doing, if or she doesn't get into in understanding something or not been told or explained, it will be very difficult from a third party or second party angle about the person. Probably it will show some madness activities. I personally believe madness is something that is driven to create something. You should have some element of madness if you really want to investigate or want to understand the biological system. I'll come back to you for this analysis part. My purpose of telling here about myself, I always tell everybody, first of all, you analyze yourself, you dissect critically yourself. What are the positive things you have? Probably you will get the resonance. Anybody, this video I am making for the young generation who are not able to think beyond think. It's like imagination power is totally lost. The analytical power is totally lost. They feel certain books reading and understanding, getting high score or marks, that will lead them to reach up to certain level. But what is the important? Even those are the things for the professional career. Anybody can do it if you work really hard, but one has to see the interest where your interest is lying. That is more important. You need to pursue your inner sense that I like this thing and I want to make a career out of it. For that purpose, I'm telling all those good mind students, whoever is coming out from their school level, college level, university level, doing PhD, I want to tell them a big message I am giving. It's not big message. What I feel personally, this is going to help or enhance their analytical power or reasoning power, increase the thought process, multidisciplinary thing. What I am trying to tell you, to correlate various factors to come out with a new paper or publication. The thought process has to be changed. Until or unless if you are thinking very stereotype way, or if you are dependent on somebody is going to help you, all those aspects, because I've been interacting with many people, many scientists, many researchers, some are directors, some are DZ, many things in my professional career I have handled in different levels of people, and whatever understanding I have, I'll try to correlate all those things and try to present in front of you so that you understand all those things. I'm a very ordinary person. It is my purpose is not telling to tell my biodata what I have done. I have not done a great job at all. It is to tell that if I am able to make my life sustainable, my family's life sustainable, you can also do it, rather than be in frustration. This frustration is a very bad thing. What I have learned from Buddhism, frustration is not outlet. Your body has got pain, and through karma, right work, you have to channelize so that you can reach the destination, your goal. So, friends, what I am trying to tell over here, I am a simple person. I am not probably wasting your time. Let me explain myself. It is very important to talk about myself. My name is Shamal. I'm not going to tell about my surname because I believe in the first name. That is more important or relevant. So, I born in a small village in West Bengal. The place is called Mukundapur. This is under Midnapur, West Bengal district. Midnapur district, West Bengal, that is the state. So Mednipur now it's split into Purbo Mednipur and Paschim Mednipur. My area is a very nice area. It has got a lot of agricultural land. We have a big house, fantastic house. We all my brothers and sisters. I am the fourth son of my family, and people talk about I'm the eighth child. Eighth child is a symbol of Krishna. Krishna also is one of the eighth child. My father has got a lot of ambition that you are the my mother used to tell me you are the eighth, so you have a lot of similarity on Krishna. I really do not know, I could not correlate whether it is Krishna or something like that. I used to laugh and say this is not the thing what you are telling. Normal other guys, like you have a village life, you have a lot of agricultural field, you have pond, you have river, you play wherever you want to play, you do the swimming job, you run around with barefooted. My childhood, I had a school close to just 2 kilometers away from my native place. It's a muddy road. I remember rainy season without shoe, without anything, I used to go to school. I was not a bad student. I used to be ranking first in the class in terms of whatever knowledge and understanding I had from first standard to fourth standard. And this is a place where we used to play during lunchtime. We used to bring our own food. We had the crispy rice is one of the things probably we used to carry, and that is the beautiful food that time in Bengal. Rice is cultivated majorly at our home. We used to have food, rice, fish, curry, rice. So all these localized things we used to bring, all used to be grown in the same place. So it is a very kind of agricultural family. I used to be in the school. After school we used to play. So then from the primary school, next building is our 10th standard school, right? In that time it was up to 8th standard. So I took the admission because my father established this school long back. I'm talking about 1978, 80. He took a lot of pain to establish this school. So my father told me you get admission in there itself and do whatever education because it is very close to our house. So it is a kind of 10 minutes walk by road and come back 10 minutes. It's a muddy, full of muds. Now there are a lot of developments. So this is where your 5th standard, 6th standard, 7th standard, 8th standard, 9th standard, 10th standard. And we have completed, and I also scored. I have a lot of fascinations towards few things. I have not told you in my curriculum, my activities, like my imagination every time used to go for literature, poetry, prose, participating in the competition, essay competition, debate competition, celebrating different birthday, Rabindra Jayanti, Subhas Jayanti, Nazrul Jayanti, all those things are culturally very, very sound. During all those birthday celebration, reciting poetry, participating in drama, many other way, a lot of prize we used to get it. It is that time they used to give a money kind of thing. If you are acting well, they will give you good money. The villagers they used to come, and that if is somebody is acting, I used to take a role, kind of a hero's role, and it's a very emotional role. Playing football, playing after school, we used to play football, and this is for 2 hours maximum, 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. So this continuously playing football in a very muddy school football ground that is attached to our school building. So life goes like this. It is a very enjoyable life, fresh air, all friends, villagers, they come, we are friends together, we will play and everything, all exercise you to do it. There is a very kind of nice homogeneous friendship, not talking about politically, there is absolutely no politics, only thing talking about football. That time we didn't have money, we used to collect chanda. We have a group, 20 people contribute 5 rupees. It's a big money, giving 5 rupees, buying a football, it's a dream. Buying a cricket ball bat, it's a dream for us. Beyond that, in our school campus, you used to have a lot of dogs. I have always fond of dogs. And dogs, because of my affiliation, I used to come to very close. And many dogs they have bitten. I have to take injection that time, close to 7, 8 injection twice I have taken. So that experience I have. So if you love anything like no dogs and all, not necessarily they will give you equal respect, and you sometimes you get bounce also, like I had lot of things. Twice dogs I bitten by dogs, I have taken injection. So friends, what I'm trying to tell you over here, apart from this recitation of poetry, it built my career to understand Rabindranath Nazrul, Sarat Chandra, Jivanananda Das, Bankim Chatra Chattopadhyay. Every time we used to have prayer, like you have to, I was the class monitor, so I used to rank sometimes first, sometimes second. First and second, we used to have a lot of fight between whoever used to have get first and second. Only maybe sometimes 2 or 3 marks of the total. We used to have physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics, history, geography, and Bengali literature and English. And optional subject, those are the things, probably 9 or 10 subject. I'm not able to recall everything. The point we want to make it, we have to have all the subjects, right? But I have good interest towards the biology and history. The history of science, or that time the Mughal history, whatever history syllabus we used to have, we used to read all those things. I used to be very excited and charged, like, okay, this is very nice thing, like nice people have got nice work. I used to get charged when we used to read Subhash Chandra Bose, Vivekananda, the philosophical understanding. Many personalities they have, even though it's a small one, we used to memorize the whole books, no problem. Whole books you just recall. Before exam date, you go to the exam hall and you give exam. History from starting 1 page to 100 page, entire thing with dates and everything I used to write. I was very good student in history. So apart from history, I told you physics and biology. This is one subject I'm also interested to pursue, and also I have successfully understood very few things. In biology, this is a prime subject. Like that, you have completed 10th standard, you have come out from 12th standard. So my primary and 10th standard is basically under my father's belt. So he used to run this school as a secretary. He is the founder, member of this school. He has struggled hard to establish this school. I told you why this is very important. My father that time, if you are talking about 1980-85, developing after Bengal had gone through a devastated flood, and after flood, my father has given thought, he, all the friends and all neighbors, villagers, he thought of developing this school, collecting bamboo from one place to another place, getting chanda and all. He made a kind of school over there with a playground and all those things. Even that, we didn't have a small playground. This land, taking from this thing, giving alternate land to these people. Now you have to have a minimum football ground so that all the students they can play over there. Now it is a very nice place. I have visited recently. I could see there are many activities they are doing, and now it is a constructed first floor, second floor. They have taken up because last 30-35 years there are many activities that has been taken. So my father, he was there for a secretary post for more than 20-25 years, and he has seen from the ground level and he has developed school. So we used to have a lot of animals over in there. In the lunch time, I used to go and meet those all animals. They are all pet dogs. So I used to have sharing foods with them, opening the dabba in front of them, opening the top lid, giving something to dog, and you are eating in both together. Those are very common exercise. I used to do it. Life was very, very interesting and very nice and cozy. I used to feel very happy. It's a nice life. So there is no much more thinking apart from going home, studying next day, and going to school. After taking food, you go to school, you continue like that, completed the 10th standard, then went to 12th standard. My brother, he was there, my second brother, Bangshi Badan Pal, was there. I took admission in science. So again, this physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology, even though I'm not interested, I thought I should take up something English literature or Bengali or history. The problem is that I was told that those fields are saturated field. You should pursue science. But I have a lot of imagination. I was thinking that time if I could have pursued history or English literature or Bengali literature, probably I could have done little better. Okay, this is I was influenced. The science is a good subject. Science will give opportunity to, even if I take science, if I am not able to do it, I have other subject like English also there. I can pursue that. But if I take totally arts, it is very difficult to even come back to science. There is a possibility so that you see both the side. So I pursued science. Again, in the 12th standard, since my brother he was there, I used to participate in debate, writing, lot of writing, lot of poetry, lot of English debate on different topic. We used to talk. Your Subhas Jayanti, Independence Day, Republic Day, all those time with different programming we used to be engaged. I told you that time our 10 plus 2 headmaster, Dr. Mr. Nirmal Maiti, we talk it, he's Kali Pada, he got award from the best teacher from the president of India. He is very famous in this particular area. So those areas are very culturally sound, and all those students who have come out from this thing now in my batch there are many good friends. They are in professor in or some are in abroad in Germany, US, some are in Jadavpur University, some are scientists in ICR, CST, DSR, all those places they are established, some are doctor. But 12th standard, what had happened, since my interest is not there, I'm concentrating more on writing poetry. I write and keep inside the Almira. After a few days, I will open up. I used to publish my own poetry in the school magazine because there is every year there is used to have a new magazine. So we used to be very excited that whose article is being published. I am the person. Every year I used to see my article must go whichever subject, either it is national subject, international subject, talking about Subhash Chandra Bose marriage story. That time I used to read because I used to refer some journal because in our home in that time Joyasri magazine used to come, lot of Subhash literature. My brother is very much attached to Subhash Chandra Bose. Probably I have mentioned in my video that what activities used to do it. We are a very kind of a family culture, singing, Rabindra Sangeet, writing article, writing poetry, all brothers and sisters, they used to do all kind of activities. 24/7, we used to have a lot of cultures in this thing. Debate at home, singing at home, coming to Rabindra Sangeet teacher at home. I used to started to learn tabla. My father told you want to learn tabla. I have only used tabla one day, but finally told my hands are not good. I'm not able to do it. So those are not my interest, but I used to always sit with my sister. I used to see that how they're learning Rabindra Sangeet, each beats like sa, re, ga, ma, pa, how the basic thing, the tuning, then all are good singer. It is not the good singer in Bengal, in everybody is singing, but they used to have certain level of singing, and we used to have in the evening time lot of programmings. Sister used to sing, we used to learn all those things. There is a complete cultural atmosphere. My mother used to sit, father used to sit. brother used to sit. We used to have all those exercise. Even at home also used to host Subhash Chandra's birthday, 23rd January. It's a big celebration day. Ravindra Jayanti, celebrating it at school. We participating in drama, reciting poetries. It's right, full of energy. I can. That time I remember in 10, 12 standard, I could recite close to 70, 80 Rabindranath's poetry, from Gitanjali, from any other big poetry, 3, 4 pages, wherever, like, people used to call. So people used to know that this person can recite poetry. So I used to get a lot of invitation from different clubs, different school, different competition, district level. I used to go, and in this exercise I have been doing from 10th standard, 12th standard. I have got many prizes. I have in the sports, in the literature, all those prizes in a very small level. So we used to participate in a different level. We used to represent the school on state level, or panchayat level, or subdivision level. Many, like, if you qualify from small to another thing, we used to participate. Myself, my sister, we have participated in many ways in a sports event, cultural event, and got prizes also. Those are very good exercise. I feel it gives an opportunity to interact with many people, to understand the subject, various subject. Why I am telling you, understanding various subject is very important. Your career goal in basic level, you really do not know which profession you want to go. It is not directed towards anything. It's basically a holistic way of doing thing. Okay, you have 10 subject, you read all those things, then you go to 10 plus 2, you have specific physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology. Then you know that if you want to go for medical or engineering, you have to clear all those things. Those That time, number of engineering college also very less, number of medical college quota, all those things are very less. Not like private today. If you see, number of engineering college are very more. I'm talking about 1987 to 90. That time Bengal was not access to this many number of medical college or this many number of engineering college. You have to have limited engineering college. So with the hope, my father, my brother, they wanted to make me as an engineer probably, or doctor. So I appeared for joint entrance exam. So I could not clear it. I was literally disheartened that I could not clear it. But mentally I was not sure. I do not know whether medical line is suited for me or engineering line is suited for me. Everybody talking, okay, you become engineer, then you get a job. That time you have Sipur Engineering College, some regional engineering college. Those are the place probably one can do the engineering or medical college. You have North Bengal and Calcutta. If you have a high ranking, well, because many students, my brother, he qualified three stream, but I could not do it. Then a lot of you feel demoralized that what you are going to do. Then obviously you have completed 12 standard. So I had little good biology marks, close to, I remember, 85 or 88%, something like that in biology. So everybody thought, since you have got a good marks in biology, let's take biology, BSc in biology in Calcutta. So first time I moved to Calcutta, I'm talking about 1998. That time I moved to Calcutta. I got admission in City College in botany. My Didi, Bardi, used to have botany as a subject. She influenced me. She told, Bhai, you take botany, that is a good subject. So I used to go to college, used to stay inside the Parishad. So as I have told you, in this area is full of intellectuals. Have your Satyan Bose, Meghnad Sahab, your Rajabajar Science College, Joda Sako, Tagore's house. So many big scientists, Jagadish Chandra Bose, your Bose Institute, Saha Institute, all those things are very near to our place. So I used to live in a house, like, it's a rented house together. All my brothers and sisters used to live in a small room where we used to prepare food, and my job is to bring all those sabji and all, meeting to fish, rice, gas. Even that time we do not have the gas. We used to prepare. I remember kerosene stove we used to use to prepare food. So we used to live in a one room. My sister, she used to study in Presidency College, not Presidency College. It is your Lady Braben College. My other sister Rajaram Mohan Roy College board. They used to study. So we used to have food together. We used to live in the same house for many years. That is in Sahitya Parishad Street in Bongio Sahitya Parishad. If anybody is familiar about Bongio Sahitya Parishad backside Scottish Church College, where probably all you know, you go further, you have Presidency College, Subhash Chandra Bose, he passed out. Scottish Church College, Swami Vivekananda passed out. So if I keep on telling that how many intelligent people they have come out from this place, it's very very difficult to tell. Remember, there are many things. So my village also, I told you, Vidyasagar is from my just 20 kilometers away from house. Matangini Hajra, the great freedom fighter, another 20 kilometers. It is surrounded. Bengal, West Bengal is the hub of intellectuals. Whoever is talking about, if you want to talk Bengal without Mednipur or Bidnapur, you cannot talk this place. This all intellectuals, all intelligent sharp minds, like no, they are from Midnapur district. So we had IIT also, Kharagpur IIT, we have Vidyasagar University. So we have in our district, we have two good things. We have Panchkuda College, another 10 kilometers away. If you go, we have railway station. So Panchkuda railway station, there is a bus service and normal service. Now things are totally different. It is changed. So friends, what I'm trying to tell you that in Calcutta, when I landed to Calcutta, there is absolutely normal exercise you used to do in college, going to college, doing practicals, attending theoretical class, all those things. Then I had lot of inclination towards writing poetry. So off time when I used to write poetry, sending in a postcard or envelope to different magazine. So some used to give response, some not used to give. Because if you write poetry, there must be some platform to write. There is no internet, nothing absolute that time. You have to publish in magazine, local magazine. And there, Bengal used to have a lot of programs like Durga Puja, Lakshmi Puja, Saraswati Puja. That time, lot of club they used to have those kind of programming. They used to collect a lot of painting and lot of write-ups from young so that they will publish it. I used to write for different magazines, either school, college, and I have continued up to university writing those things and writing something for a magazine like this Patrika is a publication of Anand Group, Anand Bazar Patrika. This Patrika is one of the very cultural, very rich journal that time it is been used to publish. I'll come back to you again. I'm getting dehydrated, like no lot of because raining outside, it's too much raining and it's very suffocating now. I have to give me 1 minute, please. So, friends, I was trying to tell you in childhood, I have missed few things like since I do not have any script or nothing is there since I am speaking in childhood, my interest towards the animal was too much. Like, too much means I was fond of many things because my mother used to have goat, cows, different birds, then cat, dog. Even we used to have tortoise at home, guinea pig at home. I used to give my hands to my mother that I was fond of this thing. I used to have a lot of chicken varieties like leghorn, different cats, different dogs. We used to be surrounded with those things like 15, 16 years from childhood to this thing. We are used to have lot of animals at home. Then we used to have ponds, fish. There are not one, two, three, four ponds, different type of fish. We used to swim. We used to catch fish from the field. That those things are I used to be associated with my mother very much. Till I am remembering those days. She taught me many things like So in that course, God generated a lot of love, passion towards the animal world, understanding the behavioral pattern of animals. That time I have not theoretically understood the animal, but I used to see in the childhood this animal also. If you communicate with them in different ways, they respond. So now in today's time, when I talk, I'll correlate things like how I have get into the animal science, behavioral science. That is one of the topic. Now I have taken last 5 years. I've been constantly working on animal behavior, studying, making a small kind of a experimental lab inside my other house, the car parking zone. I have taken out the car and I am experimenting on animals to study the behavioral pattern of a cat and rat, how this symbiotic relation they have got. So I made CCTV camera in place and capturing video. I'll come back to you this part. Coming back to the graduation side, right? No, I want to complete the graduation. So Bengal without politics, your life is incomplete. Anybody you can ask Bengal when you are getting into up to 12th standard, okay, you don't know, you don't like to get into the politics with school. There is no political activities. It is not allowed to exercise any political activities in school, government school. So only when you go to college, you have different unions, SFI, DSO, that is from the CPM, from Socialist, Communism, there are many from Congress, they have their students' unions. So used to have election. So I fought election in from my department from a ticket from DSO Democratic Students Organization. It's a affiliation to SUCI, that is Socialist Unity Center of India, where your Mother Teresa's all missionaries in the same lane. We used to have his office. I used to go participate that time. Bengal SUCI is a socialist organization. We used to have a lot of protests. That means CPM is as a ruling party. Jyoti Bosu was our chief minister. 30 years he ruled. Election after election, we used to go to Esplanade East. So I used to work very hard, making banners, making literature, distributing, collecting money. It's a chanda collection. Chanda collection in socialist or CPM, SFI students, our work. Leaving class, not attending class, you go and attend those political activities, taking jhanda. This is what used to go for a Mitchell. We had police used to give a danda, sometimes if you are talking against the government policy, or for that matter anything like American aggression and all those things. That time Gulf War was continuing. Then Bengal used to have a lot of protest against the American aggression. So they used to have a lot of war phobia that time during the George Bush time. I have told in my video. So we used to protest. The CPM used to protest. The DSO used to protest for all those activities. What I'm trying to tell over here is very simple. Without politics, you cannot live in Bengal in your education time. So you have to give time. If you want to do politics, you have to give time. Absolutely no problem. But by default, it will be driven to that thing. In college election, nobody is there to fight, because since I used to speak many things, you extempo, people used to tell, okay, you represent. So I am not elected. So it's fine. I told you, participated in democracy. You participate. If you fail, there is no problem. It's an experience. So at least I could feel that I have delivered few lecture about give me vote for some reason, one to two, for the betterment of students and all. Those are all exercise. Beyond that, my studies and all, I used to do a lot of activities. In Calcutta, there are a lot of poor and blind students. They come from very needy family. We used to have little finance. We had at least one shelter, but I used to go to a place evening time that is free of cost, teaching for the poor slum people, teaching English, biology, Bengali literature, whatever, whichever standard. After it's a very kind of a voluntary service. It is close to Sialda, those areas. Just if you are coming out Presidency College, going to Sialda station, going to College Street, little ahead, there are many places. We had a night coaching center. So they are all needy students. They used to come when we used to teach them free. 2 hours lecture, 3 hours lecture. I have given lot of help, like blind when they are giving exam. You have to be a writer. I used to be writer for different subject. Somebody is giving exam in literature, physics, chemistry, mathematics. So I used to tell the question and I used to write. He used to tell the answer. I used to write. So those kind of exercise, it is very tough job to become a writer for somebody in the exam. So for a blind person, I used to do this exercise. I remember those days. That helps me the party. What I'm trying to tell you, it is a party is nothing but if it is winning and losing, this is not very important thing. Like, but whoever is working for the betterment of society, it is sometimes it is not very important that you have to win if you fight election, but it is the fight. Okay, you got 60%, the other got 40%, but 40% also has got the voice. So they have also good people. I have interacted with very good minds over there during SUCI, but I thought that this is not my job getting into politics. So I gradually realized that probably politics is not my cup of tea. I thought of quitting politics. So there are certain things you directly involved with any political establishment, association, there are many students what they have done, they have taken this is a kind of a 24/7 job. They used to have all early morning they will go to Esplanade East with a dabba and collect chanda. So they will stand in front of this Park Street area, 10 10 feet, like no, like you see in beggars in a temple and all. You have a dedicated area, and we used to go and we used to collect money to fight election, fight parties fund to develop those kind of things. Many times we did it, and I have personally done it. Sometimes we used to have how much money somebody has collected. It is like evening time you come back and you share. Now I see in Mumbai also how the beggars they collect money and they go and they see that how much money they have collected. I'm not comparing it. I'm trying to tell the philosophical understanding. This is for the politics. You collect chanda and somebody is begging on street. This is the same philosophical understanding one can draw, that why people are taking begging as a profession. In Bengal, 30 35 years, this political scenario in Bengal, it is not good. It's a bad experience. So there is no improvement, there is no industry, there is nothing. We are all intellectually sound, but nobody has given thought for development of industrialization, bringing industry, software companies. It was not like that. It's a very traditional way of going. Bond, hartal, industries closing, because that time jute industry has got, because that time polymer came into the picture, polythenes. So it kills totally the essence of jute industries, totally replaced. Like all the jute industries are one by one closed because of strike, many issues. Like, so those things are very kind of, that time I could not realize all this thing. Now I'm analyzing that those are the affecting factors, because new technology is coming, jute processing and all. It takes time to make jute oriented thing. Even that time Bengal is full of jute industries. There are hundreds of around the Ganga River. All those industries has to be there. So they used to have a lot of jute related materials. So there are jute research institute are there. So now I'm realizing that jute institute used to develop a lot of technologies and industries there for normal bags they used to make for putting potato, rice and all. Now this is taken over by polythene bags. Polythene bags, they used to make for putting potato, rice and all. Now this is taken over by polythene bags. Polythene bags, they used to make for putting potato, rice and all. Now this is taken over by polythene bags. Polythene bags, they used to make for putting potato, rice and all. Now this is taken over by polythene bags. Polythene bags. big bag that is it is easy and cheap also. So people are using those things for packaging industry. Friends, I want to tell you I need to have little water. So I that time we have lived with my elder brother who is doctor in Salt Lake. My Didi used to be in Raja Ram Mohan Roy College Hospital hostel. I used to go there. My third Didi Tipudi used to be at Lady Brabant College, one of the prestigious colleges in Bengal. In Kolkata, I used to go evening time, meet her. She was pursuing her chemistry graduation. So my sister also, my junior sister, she also joined. She took admission in Jogmaya Devi College in South Calcutta in geography. And the same Jogmaya Devi College, the present Chief Minister of Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, passed out from the same college, if I am not wrong, because her house is just behind this college. So it's a very, Kolkata is a very cultural hub. It's not very big in dimension, but it's a nice thing that all my next sister, she joined Rabindra Bharati University, pursued her graduation and master degree in Bengali, and my sister Kanta, she is Santa who took Bengali, my last sister, she completed her master degree. Now she is teacher. Kanta, she after graduation she did her master degree, then PhD from Kalyan University. So she is also headmistress. My Didi also is teacher. My two brothers, they are also teacher in English and biology. They have completed MA and MSc. So all they are retired. My two brothers, they have retired. My elder brother is doctor who also is retired now. So they have given their career in the respective field. That then days like that I left politics because I entered into politics because of my Didi's, my own Didi, Vibha Didi. So she used to take me to all those political wherever. She used to introduce me to great leaders. They used to live in this Park Street area. So this area is a very comfortable place. There is a big building, and this building, all those leaders, like I went to your CPM office, that is also close to uh, the house, the hospital or charity mission, whatever you say, whatever the charity mission is there. Charity mission of charity mission used to run by who this used to chart got the Nobel Prize, Mother Teresa. Sorry, I'm just correlating things since I do not have the case. Mother Teresa used to be there. We used to go and pray. I used to see Mother Teresa praying. We had a lot of interest. That time Mother Teresa has not got Nobel Prize also probably, but she was very famous. We used to pray there. So a lot of poor patient from political side we used to take them for treatment and other things. So those are very social kind of work. This political work, what I'm trying to tell you, is a very dedicated political job and affiliated to a particular ideology. But what I realized that in life, if you attach to political system, if you give your time, energy for the society, what is the thing what you are going to get? Keeping all the it's a basically thought process again, it's went in my mind, it is not good to be in this thing, otherwise I'll be a party worker throughout the life and doing something my life goals and ambition, because I always used to feel that I have a strong feeling I had that probably if I can pursue certain things I will be able to do it, but I was not knowing what I'm supposed to do it and what to do, because there is nobody to guide. It is something like that. You are reading something, you are reading. You want to complete BSc, okay, complete BSc. You want to complete master degree, you go and complete. Education, Bengal, it's not expensive education, it's kind of free. The fees will be 25 rupees per month fees. Tuition fees in our college, it's very 20 rupees. Even if you increase by 5 rupees, there will be a bond, haratal, whatever things, that why you have increased 5 rupees also. Those are the things. We used to have bus fare 20 paisa or something like that. That time it's very less. You can travel by bus, spending little money. So it is all Kolkata life is was very comfortable. There is absolutely no problem. But like that completed graduation. So till I had some interest in my mind that I've been writing poetry. So is poetry is going to feed me something? Can I make a career out of it? So that time I used to see that I used to go to Anand Bazar Patrika. I used to see a lot of big people in my college. Dr. Subodh Sarkar in the English literature, he was there. He was also writing poetry. Even though I was a student from science, I used to know somebody writing because I used to have this magazine and other magazine during Durga Puja time. All those things, literature used to come. Subhas Mukhopadhyay, Sokti Chattopadhyay, Sunil Gangopadhyay, Joy Goswami. Those are big writings, like they write in big magazine. We used to read it. It was very interesting. That time, if you do not have anybody, we used to be afraid of going to Anand Bazar office, writing poetry, because once you write poetry, giving it to publish in a good magazine, it is very, very difficult because you have to spend time. It is not that I'm not telling that you cannot write, but I had always intention that I can write poetry. That is what I have in my mind, but I am not able to express it. I was not knowing where to write, what is the content, right? These are very difficult thing because writing poetry is very, very difficult thing. Content, which area you want to cover it, either nature, love, society. There are many things because I used to read a lot of poetry that time that used to think me it is I am in a fix. My thought process is not allowing the which direction. If I have to read Sukanta Bhattacharya, Jivananda Das, Rabindranath Thakur, Kaji Nazrul Islam, Michael Madhusudan Datta, all those people, they have different approach of writing poetry, right? If I read Sukanta, then I feel that I should write those kind of revolutionary kind of a poetry, like very triggering, true nationalism and all those things is there, that kind of poetry. Rabindranath's poetry is totally devoted to some nature, sometimes some poetry I used to have, some political sense, love, nature and all those things. Subhash Mukhopadhyay, again, lot of things with love, nature. So those things I used to read. Shakti Chattopadhyay. Shakti Chattopadhyay is little leftist. So he used to write all those things with the keeping leftist movement in mind. So I used to have all those leftist ideology. No, that time Congress was also there. I never used to have affiliation to any Congress, but I used to have a lot of friends related to leftist movement. So this is because we are from a family, very middle class family. We do not have the big financial thing. Probably we thought that if you affiliated to this political thing, probably you can have a career. That is what everybody thinks, like you cannot separate the society, politics and your education because you have to leave, because you do not have much more ambition, vision, where to go, what to do, what not to do. Nobody is there to guide. So in that case, what we did after graduation, my sister told, what you want to do? Then went for master degree. This is the thing, probably. If you do not have anything, apply for WBCS or some bank exam. If you are not interested, probably study is there. Keep on studying. I joined Vidyasagar University. I went to Kanpur University. So I got selected in Calcutta University. Not MSc in botany, MSc in agriculture. My marks was not that good. So this is one interesting part when you invest your time in many activities, political activities, then time difference, because I was not very serious about the whole thing. During exam time, 3 months, you have to study this chapter, that chapter, you have to complete practical, many other things. So getting first class was a little difficult. Oh, I scored blues to 58, 59%. I got in three places, like. So agriculture, from if you have BSc in botany and doing agriculture, it is very difficult to get job in school. The point what I want to tell over here, right? If you are doing agriculture, you are not going to get into 10th standard if you are applying for teacher's job, if you want to do BA. That's why I went to Vidyasagar University to do MSc in microbiology is attached to forestry. So this is a subject. It's that time university has developed. It's a newly established university. I'm talking about 1992. This time. So it's a great journey. Like no, I got a chance in Vidyasagar University. It's in my native place. So it's a very happy kind of. You have backside Kharagpur IIT, Kharagpur and Midnapur. It's around 10 kilometers away. Thought of taking admission over there. What to do? So I used to live in a house, is a rented house with my all friends as a paying guest who used to prepare food. We used to go to university. Again, this university exercise is a very interesting thing that I'm going to talk about. University has given me immense pleasure to learn many things in university. So I get into seriously involved into politics in again this SUCI, that is DO show, Democratic Student Organization. That time I had a conflict when I have started to give my nomination from my this thing. My other SFI friends told not to put nomination. So I still remember those days. I told why you are saying so. No, you should not participate. You should join my SFI, that is the CPM. You should join because you write good poetry. I remember my friend, he is now headmaster in some school. So I was not a bad student. I used to study very hard, and everybody used to know that I have a very strong command over microbiology, biotechnology, molecular biology, virology. All those people, they used to know me. But there are some issues I'm going to tell that part that is very important. If you are very studious, very intelligent, and we are coming from different place because university Vidyasagar University, from Calcutta University to Vidyasagar University, if somebody is doing already, some students are there from Vidyasagar University in graduation, they are coming. So they used to see me in a different angle that we are outsiders, right? Taking from one place to another place. Or teacher also used to come and teach. Because externally, nobody talks about that you are from outside or from inside, but one can understand that local student and we are outside. There are very few students used to be there. I was one of them. So during exam time in different semester, marks are fine. The first year, second year. Honestly speaking, that time I used to fond of poetry like anything. So by the time while I was writing poetry, my job is to go to hostel, take a piece of paper, write poetry and keep. Like that, when I have close to 50, 60 poetries, so I have something in my mind, let me publish a book. It will be good. People will know me. So this is one intention. Then I have started to inquire about a publishers, a press. Then I went to Mednipur. There is a bus stand over there. There are a lot of manual printing shop was there. I used to have interact with few shops. So I bargained with them that look, I have close to 85 to 100 poetries. I want to publish it. They told this is the estimation they give. This much money is required if you publish this much. We'll compose it and everything. Okay, I have written the poetry. How do I judge that whether those poetries are bad poetries or good poetry? At least somebody is there to estimate, right? At least. So even I've been writing this thing in different magazine and reciting it in various places, but I have not been judged whether really I am writing some good poetry or nonsense poetry. So it is for the passion you are writing. This is fine, but your quality should be there. So I used to participate in university in different program. like essay competition, poetry competition, literature, painting, university, and participating in annual functions. So I got a chance finally when university published few of my poetry in the magazine. They used to have newsletter. My three poetries, the two, a lot of friends they have appreciated. You have written a nice poetry. I was very happy that my poetry is written in university. University is a big thing, like for us students coming from, okay, this is fine, this is one step, probably people are liking the poetry. If anybody has to cross the road, oh sorry, I have seen your poetry, array, this is poet is going, this is going, that is going. So people used to be very confused that which field I am belonging. Sometimes they ask, are you from the Bengali literature, from the English literature, for what? I used to sit, remember I those days, Dr. Himabanta Bandyopadhyay, he is probably professor now in Bengali some university, he is working. He was teacher. Dr. Subodh Sarkar used to come to teach English literature, and evening time he used to go home. My job is, Saturday we used to return back to Kolkata because every week we used to go back. And Subodh Sarkar, I used to accompany, we used to discuss about Subodh Sarkar. Yes, last 20-25 years, he got a lot of awards from the Bengal, Sahitya Academy and whatever, whatnot. I could see, I could not recall all those things. Ravindra Puruskar, all those things. So it's a good thing that, okay, I am going with a nice person. I used to show him poetry, said this is what I have written and all those things. We used to have a lot of interaction. Like that 1 or 2 years I used to travel because there are very few trains. Remember, 4 o'clock only one train leaving from Mednipur to Howrah. It takes close to 3 hours. If you miss the train, there is from 4 o'clock to 6 o'clock. That means you will be reaching home. If you are taking 6 o'clock, you will be reaching 9 o'clock. If you are taking 4 o'clock, you will be reaching 7 o'clock. Then going home like by 7:30, 8 o'clock, we will be able to touch Calcutta. If you are taking 6 o'clock, by 10 o'clock, we will be reaching. It will be too late. So you have to see all the consequences. Same train we used to travel. It was very nice and all those things. That time, I remember all those things. There is a poetry competition. Used to have poetry festival. We used to have. So that time you participate in. I have participated in poetry festival where Shakti Chattopadhyay, Sunil Gangopadhyay, Joy Goswami, all those things. I could go and recite my own poetry. So I used to get little claps. So I used to be very happy and excited that I am writing some poetry if somebody is clapping. A lot of university students used to attend in Mednipur that this competition. So I used to little famous. It's a small place. So little like I'm feeling excited. I'm generating some energy that I could write. Then while studying, like whoever the leaders, my friends, my job is to come and teach them because I was very good in genetics and microbiology, biotechnology. So they used to do whole day politics, and my evening job is to come and teach them. So, friends, what I'm trying to tell you, I was helping them directly, indirectly. They told that what are the best possible thing, probably this chapter, that chapter, immunology chapter, all those chapters we used to see it, microbiology and all those things chapter. So we used to teach 2 or 3 of my friends, and not I'm not naming them, but I have taught them literally. So I used to feel very good. And in turns, he used to you give me the your poetry, I will publish it. So in that case, in Gansakti, there are a lot of in SFI magazine they have published in the literature and all those things. It used to come published in newspaper. I had a very good feeling that I could write poetry which is left oriented, and it was very exciting for me because we used to dream that Gansakti paper, it's a mouthpiece of SFI. It's a very, very interesting thing that one should know that publishing there, it has got wide circulation. Friends, I need to have little water. Thank you. So finally, one day I thought of showing my poetry and all. I've been writing in university magazine. People know me in the university campus. It's a very kind of happy situation. They know by face that this fellow writes poetry and all. It's a good thing. Like they used to say, never used to say anything, but I used to see their body language probably. I thought probably if I take somebody's help and give my all poetry to somebody, probably somebody can help. I used to interact with Bengali philosophy department, history department, English department, because when you do all kind of cultural activities, it is obvious that you are going to interact with many. There are not many students involved. Whoever is doing these activities, like writing some cultural activities, we used to have a lot of debates on various issues. When they were publishing some poetry in their magazine, it is to be circulated to all people. Used to come, and this is, you explain that what you have written. I used to explain them, this is the meaning of this thing. So like that it was very interesting situation. So my teacher in my own subject, they used to tell me that what you are doing, you are writing poetry and all, what about your subject, you are going to fail. So it was a very kind of a scary situation for me. Till I thought, let me give a chance. Like, no, I am sure that I am not going to fail at least. So fail is impossible thing for me, because I mentally I was very strong, that I have a strong ability to understand the biological science. That is my confidence, the inner strength. In this strong belief that whatever they used to tell me, I used to sometimes ignore. I used to say yes in front of them to make them happy, make them believe that I will stop, quit poetry. But I took my entire poetry, my draft, to one of the professor, Dr. Prabhat Mishra, who used to teach in philosophy department. So philosophy is a lot of philosophical thing. So I gave my entire document. He returned me, said, I am going to publish this poetry book. So the naming and nomenclature, what will be the name of the book? So I had given two, three names that you select one of the name. So I remember those days he used to really help me, that he took the entire my draft, put into a file. He returned me after 1 month. He took, probably he has done little correction, some addition, so I could add up and all those things, making the final draft. So name also decided what to be the name of the poetry book, then selecting the logo, all those things. I have learned very small thing to publish a poetry book. What are the things required? So I have done all those exercise. So that time digital printing was not there. It is all manual printing. Then I have finalized a small publishers. Publishers means, so I have only used their names. So I went to College Street, close to Presidency College, asked somebody, said, I am publishing one book. Can I use your name? They told, no, you cannot. I said, why, sir? I'm publishing. I'm putting my own money. Even they told, no, you cannot do that. So you bring your draft, I will show. Then I gave one copy, Xerox copy to them. After 3 months, they have not responded me, because for any reason they have not failed. I am not a recognized poet. I have not published anything in big magazine. All things they told, probably it will be a waste of time kind of exercise. So in that hope, I lost the hope. Then what I did, I that time we used to have at home. My brother used to have Netaji Samiji Institute of Cultural Center, like that. He made a nomenclature. My Badodada, who is Dr. Madhusudan Pal. So I thought, probably why not? This is nice that you have Netaji Samiji Cultural Research Institute kind of thing, and it is a very home name and it's very exciting. So I took published by this. So finally, I took the entire draft proposal to a press. The press fellow, I asked that how much money and everything they are going to charge, and accordingly they told this is going to be costing close to, I remember those days publishing 500 books, it is close to 3000 rupees, 3,500 rupees. So how to organize money, from where money will come? This is one of the challenging thing. So I was thinking, let me arrange some money, let me ask my parents, my brother, sister, whom to be asked. So asked my third sister Tipudi. She was brilliant student. She used to get scholarship in Bengal. Like, if you rank up to certain level, you are going to get scholarship. Each scholarship, I remember, it is 1,500 rupees per year. It is to give. So I told Didi, I have written some poetry out of fear. I need some money from you. So she told me, after few days, I remember, she gave me 3,500 rupees to publish the books. I remember those days. It's a big money because it is her stipend money. So she is not earning because the stipend is something which is, it's a very prestigious thing, getting a stipend. So she gave me that money to publish books. I took that money, I went to the publishers, so making digital logo, not digital, manual logo, and I used to be with this press. They used to give me the draft corrections because each word has to be fixed. It was not digital, manually each letter has to be fixed. So every day five poetries used to come in a printed form. I used to be very excited that my poetry will come out. So close to 2 to 3 months, I remember I used to go every day. I had a cycle. So evening time, you keep on running that we used to go to press. This is my intention. In press, you have a lot of carbons. These blocks are made of carbons. So we used to have a tray kind of thing, compose, and used to manually putting each letter, so making sure that everything is correct. There are first revision, second revision, third revision. In the final stage, the book was printed. Finally, 500 copies. I got it by giving 3,500 rupees. So I was so excited to see that my finally I could write a poetry book, and so with the introduction by Dr. Prabhat Mishra, backside my photograph with my all those description about the poet. This is normally it is published. Whoever is publishing those things are common thing. You have to do all kind of exercise. So I got 500 copies of book. So I kept all those books inside my house where I used to live in Midnapur. That is the hostel, basically a PG hostel, and there I took it. Now the question is what I am supposed to do with those poetry books. So I have to distribute, I have to sell it. I kept minimum price of 10 rupees. I thought probably if I am able to sell those books, I was thinking that some books probably it will be given free of cost who are close because I cannot charge money from the close friends. My teacher, I used to distribute, sir, this is the poetry book you read, at least tell me what is good about it, bad about it. I used to distribute in each department, everybody this is. Some student that time giving 10, 12 rupees, I think it is a 10 rupees. So it's very, very difficult for anybody. Nobody used to give even 10 rupees for a 100-page book. It was very interesting. I thought that probably if you write poetry, nobody gives you money, but when you recite the same poetry in dais, everybody claps you. So where is the problem, at least to correlate that 10 rupees for a book they are not giving even their close friend. Out of love probably somebody can give, like, no, this is the book, you can take it. So it is not done. I could hardly not able to get that money what I have invested. Then gradually I give a thought, thinking that okay, I have not got money, but at least my popularity was there and people appreciated. It's nice poetry, nature, love, revolution, talking about the society, talking about the microbiology related poetry, talking about the biological war and all those things, taking lot of scientific jargon in my poetry, like all scientific word, mutation, atom, molecular level, all those dissection, many poetry you will find the touch of element of biological science, new word. Today I realize those poetries are I've been now writing into different blogs the same poetry. I'm trying to explain that what I want to convey in each poetry, what are the meaning, starting from many poetries close to. Then afterwards, I published the second poetry book. Then I have got a lot of encouragement. Night I used to sit and write without reading biotechnology. Forget about all those subjects. Write poetry whole night. My roommate used to tell me, "What things are you are doing?" No, I am writing poetry. So in this case, I used to study in daytime, nighttime. I used to write poetry. Everybody knows that this fellow is writing poetry like anything, whether he is having some problem or not. But my inner consciousness is telling, write something, whatever you feel. My agenda was many things, like many issues, many topics, dissection, inner eyes, loss, all those poetry, poetry of the nature, fight. All I have philosophy of Sukanta Bhattacharya, Subhash Chandra, Subhash Mukhopadhyay, Joy Goswami. Oh, that time they are very famous. I used to read their poetry. I used to have some direction that what are the topic probabilities required. I used to buy. I used to go to Calcutta. I used to buy a lot of poetry books when I used to come back to Mindapur. I used to keep all those books. This gives me immense pleasure to understand that why the others, Bengali, whoever is writing, senior people, what kind of thematic area they are writing. So I used to follow them, and I used to write my own way of poetry. I thought probably let me put something related to biological science. That's why I told many thematic area, sorry, many thematic area I have taken into consideration while writing my poetry. So it was a mixed experience for me, but I was very sure by writing poetry, you cannot have your life, your needs or means. You cannot lead your life. I was thinking that 500 copies of book, it is going to give me close to 5,000 rupees. It's a big money. So even I could not get 500 rupees also. So all books I could distribute, some books I kept till date I have with me. This is the story about the first book. Then I sent what I did. I have deposited some books in the university library, Calcutta University Library, National Library is there in Calcutta, in many places wherever I felt. In College Street, I used to go and give it to a publisher. Sir, I have published some book. If you are able to sell some books, at least you take 50% out of 10 rupees, you keep 5 rupees, give me 5 rupees. This fellow could not sell my book. So after 3 months, he told you take back because this other way I'll sell it to the kachra fellow. Because if you are not able to book sell, there will a lot of dust will be deposited and it will be given. So I thought, what is going wrong? If I'm not able to sell a book of 10 rupees, so much energy I have given, so much thought process given, there is nobody to buy it. Everybody is appreciating whoever, because that time when the book is there, I have circulated to many places like Anand Bazar Patrika, Desh Patrika, Gun Shakti for a review. I could see that Sunday used to have new poets, their books and review. I have till those clippings. They have talked about few lines about this poetry is good, this poetry is good, something like some their opinion. It's basically review. It was very exciting to know that those reviews are also very nice thing. Side by side, what I used to do it that I used to have my poetry recitation. While I was in Calcutta, I used to go to a place where they used to teach how to recite poetry, poetry of various fields, drama, and all those things. I remember Saturday, Sunday evening time, we used to go to Partho Ghosh and Gauri Ghosh. They used to work for All India Radio. They are very famous. They are how to throw it, how to talk. They used to teach me evening time that if you want to recite poetry, you should have good throwing your voice. You should bring your inner voice to speak. So I have learned many things 2 years rigorously. Partho Ghosh used to give training, teaching for 1.5 hours. So it was a very exciting thing. Like in we had many occasions during Ravindra Jayanti. We used to go to Sam Bazar. There's a big hall we used to take. So we used to participate there. I used to recite poetry. So it was a good feeling at the end of the day that I have learned that how to talk. What is more important? It is not necessarily that, because I have never ever given thought that I will be a poet or I'll take recitation as my profession. It is, I had something in mind that definitely I am going to learn and how to communicate, how to develop your communication skill, how you throw your words. That is very important, because if you have a good communication skill, when you recite poetry, there are many things where to give stress, where not to give stress. Your scale changing is there. It is not simply the poetry, reciting poetry. This is a kind of an total art. Like so, Partho Ghosh used to do in a very good way, because he used to recite poetry in All India Radio and he used to work for them. So Partho Ghosh and Gauri Ghosh, even if you search in YouTube, you will find a lot of duet poetry is there. Both Parthoda and Gauri Ghosh. I do not know whether still are there. I think they have all retired, but still you'll find their videos in YouTube. They are very famous. So this is one part. Meeting also different poets. I told you, Joy Goswami, Shakti Chattopadhyay, Shankha Ghosh, Sunil Gangopadhyay, Subhash Mukhopadhyay. I went up to, while I am writing this poetry, I had opportunity. I had only one book, so it's very easier for me to get access to. If I go to Anandabazar office, that time I used to see all those people: Subhash Mukhopadhyay, Sunil Gangopadhyay, and Joy Goswami. They used to work for Anandabazar office. It is in Park Street area, Anandabazar office. I used to go to the top floor. Used to ask security, sir, I want to meet Sunil Gangopadhyay. It's not easy to meet Sunil Gangopadhyay. So in a bahana that I have a published book, sir, I want to present him. In that context, I used to go and give this book. Sir, I have written a poetry. I am from this. Please take it, sir. I will be happy that if you can reply me. So they used to take, because there are many in Bengal. You will find there are many people writing books. It's all, every house probably you will find that somebody, every house, it's writing is a habit. Honestly speaking, if you go to College Street area, you will find there are known and unknown poets, small booklet they publish with 10, 15, 20 poetry, because Calcutta book fair, like that time we used to go and distribute that XYZ has written, sir, take free of cost. Read. There is no absolutely, because there is nothing, there is no boundary at all. You write, go to a publisher. If nobody is giving money, you give your draft proposal, they will print and give it to you within 7 days. So those exercises are very, very common in Bengal, basically in Calcutta. You have Ravindra Sadhan. There are many programs I have attended. We have recited poetry. It was very exciting. In childhood, that is what it is. You keep on this exercise. But in university, when I have gone, then meantime, it encouraged me one thing. Then I have written another 100 poetries. So within 6 months' time, writing 100 poetry is too much load and different thematic area. So that poetry book is totally different. So I have written close to 100 poetry, very long poetry, nature, revolution, different thematic area, war, love, and all those things. Love means spiritual love. You used to think the motherland you love, and just for motherland you write. Freedom movement, all those things, thematic area, writing poetry and reciting. This is very interesting. So again, second book published. Absolutely no problem. That time I had money. I took some money from home. My father had gave me some money and I saved money. It is like when you live in the hostel, there is always a chance that you get certain amount of money. You keep some money aside. Like that, in 1 year, you build up a lump sum amount. That is very interesting money, and that money I have put for publishing my second book. That is Silpir Chokhe Ghum Nahi. Again, That book also got wide circulation in different magazines. They have got the review. No money. It is just review. If you, somebody is reviewing also, you should be very happy. So I didn't have any expectation that I should earn money by writing poetry. The reason being, I knew that I have, by the time I read many life, like many poets, they have not earned anything in their life while they are alive. So those things I had in my mind, that this poetry probably is not your cup of tea, it's your emotional or mental satisfaction. You are writing something that is good. I was thinking one day might be it will be interesting, because you never know that whatever you are writing today, because you have a lot of imagination, it is writing a good poetry is very tough. Thematic area selection, it's very very tough to write a good poetry. It is not writing like a novel or whatever feels you write it, but writing a poetry in a thematic area within 10, 15, 20 lines using a particular area of interest, it is absolutely difficult. I used to have a lot of corrections, right? My habit is there. If I am able to write, I'll write the entire poetry, I'll keep inside my bed or drawer. After 7 days, you'll take out and you started to correct it. It's very different. It helped me in my further studies. It's very, very important to know that it is not you have written something, whatever thought process you have, you try to dump into a paper. Whatever, it might be good, bad. After 7, 8 days, again, there is self correction. You will feel this is not good, this is not good, this is unwanted, this is irrelevant. You zoom down. Let's say 100% is there, you zoom down to 40, 50%. Again, you cut because you concentrate. Because writing a good poetry is a very tough thing. I have read many literatures like Wordsworth, Shakespeare, Shelley, Keats, Byron, Tagore, Shukanta Bhattacharya, Juban Das. I could get a feeling that the selection of words is more important, not how long, how lengthy you write the poetry. So I used to follow, but whatever thematic area I used to write, whatever things you dump it, your idea, you close your eyes, you write whatever you want to write. After that, again, correction. I have seen many big literature like Sarat Chandra Bose used to do it, Rabindranath used to do it, not publishing at the same moment. Same thing I have observed Satyajit Ray. He has not done many films in his life. Very selected. He will do all those things, writing very specific thing. Then every 2 3 years you will publish only one film. So, but the quality what is more important, not the quantity. Today's film or literature like puja time, you write anything, you publish it. So if anybody is reading, not reading, doesn't matter. Quality, what I am again trying, the quality will get it once you put your energy certain things. You restrict to number of poetry. Don't influence of somebody that I need a poetry, I need it tomorrow. If you do not have the good ideas, because your mind is always working what are the poetry you want to write, until or unless you get a good thematic area, you cannot write poetry. You can simply say that I am writing a poetry for you. It has to translate in your mind the particular thematic area, then you can only write it. Friends, what I am trying to tell you, it's a very complex thing. Write a poetry, write a good poetry. It's very, I am not worried about the things that somebody is appreciating or not, because sometimes it's very difficult to analyze those kind of things. The other side, what is the capacity of his understanding about my poetry writing. Sometimes people don't appreciate in front of you know it's not a good poetry, but one cannot be very judgmental that this is a good poetry or bad poetry. If you strongly believe you are writing a good poetry, it has got a meaning or thematic area, forget about the money, you write and keep it. As I know, in your lifetime, even Rabindranath also has not able to earn money. Jivananda Das also not able to earn money. But today those poetries are so beautiful and enormous. Rabindranath probably able to. make money for many reasons, but most of the poets, they are coming from a very poor family, deprived family. They are involved with many movements, so this luxury terminology is not there in their life. So the obvious reason, selling, getting a good publishers are very, very difficult thing. Friends, just 1 minute. I'll have little water. So it is very interesting that in the year of, I remember in the year 91 or 92, there is a big competition in university writing good poetry. There is one award. It is Vidyasagar or Satyajit Ray award. If you are able to stood first in each, writing poetry, painting, and writing essay. So it is a very university competition. Fortunately and unfortunately, I could participate. I could stood first in each poetry. I stood first, painting also, and also essay writing. So I got this Satyajit Ray or Shubha Vidyasagar award. It's an award university has given that I am the only winner of this award. So happy to know that I can paint also. Even I don't know ABC of painting. Even I don't know ABC of my poetry or prose essay writing, because there are many things, because you have literature department, Bengali, English, philosophy, history, geography, all the whole university they are participating. From there, selecting in three thematic area and getting the top rank, it's really, I was very happy that I got it. Till I have got that certificate with me. It was very interesting thing for me. Even there is no prize remuneration, but only one certificate I have got. That is a very priceless thing for me. I'm very proud of that thing till I recall my university days. So friends, I completed my MSc. I passed. So those whom I taught, they got more marks than me. I was surprised to see my marks data. I'm not getting into that debate, but I could I could complete my MSc with moderate number. So I was thinking, okay, there is no problem if somebody has got marks, probably it is only the number. Doesn't matter. So even if you get good marks, you are not going to get job. You have passed, it is fine. There is no problem. There is no backlog. I passed out in 2 years. So my next journey, I went for what to do. People used to tell me, I used to take advice. So somebody used to tell me what is there going to do PhD and all. Those are very, nothing is going to happen after that. There is no job, wasting another 2, 3, 4 years, right? So I went for MBA. So I could clear middle exam, I could clear MBA in marketing and foreign trade. There is a place, Ellen Misra College of Business Management. It's not a very renowned business management. At least it teaches us how to do business. That is what I had always intention in my mind, that many people are taking profession in MBA. Generally, they go with engineering degree, but having MSc biology, life science, or whatever stream, doing MBA, what is the relevance you have? Without thinking much, bothering much, okay, I thought, let me complete my master degree in MBA, full 2 years course. So I moved out from Bengal. So I used to stay in a house, in a PG. I used to go to MBA college, first year, second year, till I had something in your mind that probably this is not MBA. I want to be a kind of a MBA, maybe even marketing and foreign trade. It is like, you'll get a marketing job, you have to sell the product. But to be very honest with you, I didn't have any kind of inclination that I will do the marketing. Marketing means you to sell the product. I had always in my mind that selling, you need a lot of skill to sell. Selling a product is not easy. That I used to have feeling, but it was there are enormous opportunity for marketing. If you have any administration job or marketing in MBA in a kind of administration or any other subject, accounts, marketing will have 10 or 15 opportunities, because finally bringing business is a very interesting thing in life. Whatever you do, whatever technology you have, understanding you have, or if you work as a marketing product manager, final objective is to, you have to sell the product, bring business, you have to work for that, you need to know all those products, you need to convince the customer. That is very important. First year I have completed my first year MBA. It was very nice, interesting. So lot of friends I could see. I am moving out from Bengal to a different state where Hindi, I have to learn Hindi. So I was not good in Hindi. I have learned, picked up few things I can speak now fluently in Hindi. I have learned. Initial days I have struggled to communicate. So I thought, why not giving a chance to do PhD simultaneously, because we used to have MBA in the morning session, evening I used to be free. So why not try your luck? I had all my certificates. Then once I went to university, met some professor with a fear that what they are going to tell all those things. Then I straight away entered into a professor. Professor's name is Professor R.S. Bilgrami. So initially I told, sir, I want to do PhD. First day he told, you come. I remember next day I came and met him, discussed about few things. He was so happy that, okay, I will take you as a PhD student. I was very happy that I will be the PhD candidate. I joined. He gave me a topic that is related to nitrogen fixing bacteria, V. mycorrhiza and rhizobium, symbiotic association, different treatments. So we wrote the synopsis, submitted for university registration. So I used to get money from my Didi, sometime Dada. They used to send me money because I never used to earn money that time, never given thought. So even though I have tried to do some kind of tuitions and other, but I thought this tuition is not going to give you money until or unless you are taking 100 rupees for 10, 20 student. This is not done. So my brother and sister, they used to give me money. It was very interesting. 2 years doing MBA and doing PhD. I used to have very good relation with my professor. I used to work very hard. So I used to have all microscope, pot culture, different VA mycorrhiza treatment, identification, taking photographs, taking different treatment seasonal, either only with rhizobium, because I used to take the leguminous plant to study the impact of nitrogen, because different fertilizer treatment comparing with VA mycorrhiza and all those treatments. I'm not getting into this thing. It's basically the study of understanding of selection of different VA mycorrhizal species, rhizobium species. So there is a plant called Vicia fava. So nitrogen fixing bacteria is a host specific particular isolation of bacteria, checking the nodulation, many other things, taking fungus, doing strain and all those things. So very exciting and enjoyment thing, like used to do, taking all those things. So we have isolated many fungal strain. So those fungal strains are very interesting. I need to have identified this thing. So what to do, the identification, we have done it starting from literature. So we went to Tata Energy Research Institute, Delhi. So we have identified some species. So I from Delhi is far off from my research institute, that is Muzaffarpur, to B.R. Ambedkar University to Delhi. So there is no money. My guide, he gave money, you go and do this thing. I met a lot of people. Terry is a big institute over there. So for us, Delhi, seeing Delhi mean first time, it was a very, very different kind of experiment. So Tata Energy Research Institute, they used to do a lot of biofertilizer work. So that time, Tata Institute Research Institute Director General was Dr. R.K. Pachauri, and who later on 2006-7 is IPCC chairman from our India Climate Change Committee. So I'll come back to you how this thing had happened. So used to go meet a gentleman scientist Sujan Singh, interact, identify, came back. So I could see Pachauri cell used to be. It is in a place Tata Energy Research Institute. So this biofertilizer activity we used to get a lot of literature and all up to that level after identification. So return back from Delhi to it is inhabited place in New Delhi. So in that campus, Dr. Pachauri used to sit over there. So after completing 2 years, within 2 years, I could complete my PhD topic. What guide is so happy that you have completed everything because the other student they have already 4 years, 5 years they could not do it within 2 years, 2 months. I could submit my PhD. Meantime, I have completed my MBA also. So it was very interesting that simultaneously I could have MBA and PhD degree. So at the age of 25, I could complete my PhD. So I have thought that okay, everybody gets into 28, 27, 29, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. So I am happy within 25 years I have completed. I told my guides that what to do because I have already completed my PhD. It is only the submission of thesis. So that time, sir used to have a lot of institute used to do similar kind of job. Suddenly, he got one letter for mycorrhiza. Some SRF is required. So he recommends my name. I give the CV. I went to. I left my PhD work. My guide told you go and join. From there you write the thesis paper. I'll guide you and correspondence you. So he gave me some guideline. Those are the chapter, and he gave me a reference PhD thesis that in this context you write and make the draft and everything. You come back. So I left my PhD institute. Professor Bilgrami, he used to love me like anything. So he told you go and you. I met. I went to Goa University, botany department. Professor Rodriguez was there. I remember is going to Goa. It's a kind of a tremendous journey. I didn't have money. My guide gave me little money that you go. This money is going to give you. I took a train from Muzaffarpur to Mumbai. I landed Mumbai first time in the year I remember 1994 or 95 probably. I reached to VT station at night. So I got down. I had little money. So I asked people how to go to Goa. It's around 9 p.m. night. So somebody told me there is a place called Asangao. Like you take a local train, go to Asangao, you will be able to reach Goa. I told Goa is in. Then I took the train without thinking, buying ticket, took the local train, went to Asanbao, close to 35, 40 kilometers. He thought that I am searching for a local train to go to Goa. I have never ever given thought to him. I want to go to Goa. That is in totally another state. What had happened? I went to Asangao, got down and asked people that, is this Goa? So people to know this is Asangao. Asangao and Goa, this is quite interesting for me. Again, they told, sir, I want to go to Goa. They told you again take reverse train. You go to VT, get out where GPO is there. There are a lot of bus. It goes to Goa. So I was very tired. I didn't have a lot of money in my pocket, minimum money, because my destination point is to go to Goa and meet my professor. So I came back to VT station. I went outside. No, no, VT, no. I came to the other station. I went out. I asked auto wala that, bhai, I want to go to Goa. They told it's already 10:30, 11 o'clock. You won't get anything to go to Goa. That fellow, auto fellow, he guided me properly. He took it to me travel agent that he is going to go to Goa. If there any facilities are there, he took me. I remember those things free of cost. In Mumbai, generally nobody does charity. I told this fellow, I do not have the auto fare. Can you take me? He took me that place. I remember till date he took me and dropped me at again VT station. But at night, what he told me that there is nothing absolutely. You cannot go. There is no train. There is no bus. I told I have to go tonight. I have to leave. Then what he told me, I can do something for you. It's very interesting. Very interesting why I'm telling the story. It's interesting. It will make you believe that that is also possible. So he took me again back to VT station. He told there are a lot of milk vehicle that leaves from Mumbai to a place which is around 700-800 kilometers. From there you can go to Goa. I told this is not bad idea, but how do I catch those milk truck fellow that who is carrying milk from Mumbai to this place and going to Goa? So he told what you can do early morning, you can catch a bus rather than directly going by milk truck. It would be difficult for you to go. So early morning around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, there are a lot of bus that is leaving going from Mumbai to a place called. So friends, I remember those days that auto fellow he helped me that. So morning around 3:30, 4 o'clock, there is a bus is going to a place called Kolhapur. From Kolhapur, if you reach there, you will get a milk truck. Those trucks carries milk to Goa. So it was a very interesting thing that I told it is fine. Night I stayed at the other station waiting hall. I remember those days. There is not much cloth, only one dress, one this thing, a small bag, and my certificates and all. I took and I stayed at the other station with little food I could get from the canteen, railway canteen. So morning I took a general bus, it is ordinary bus, non-AC bus because I have to have this money. My destination is to reach to the destination point what my professor gave that money, my guide. So with a hope at least I can reach. So I got that bus, I reached Kolhapur and finally I landed to Kolhapur and evening around 7 or 8 o'clock those milk vehicle used to leave. So I catch hold some shop fellow that what are the who from where this place this vehicle is going to Goa because there is no bus. From Kolhapur there are a lot of bus that leave for Goa, but night there is absolutely nothing. So finally I catch hold of one fellow who is a driver and one more fellow that will he will take me to Goa. It was very interesting. I remember days. I used to sit at front with the driver next to driver. So he used to tell that you are going by this milk vehicle that I told how much money you won't be charging. I remember those days that okay, this I can 30 40 rupees, I believe. That time, this is too much money for me, that even if he's charging 30 rupees, he told, give me 30 rupees. Night we had food together, whatever, dhaba, all the way. In the morning, we reached to a place called Panjim city. This is the first time I could see Goa, see another atmosphere. It's a totally different, because there is a lot of church, Christians and all. I have heard knows something about the Goa Portuguese. I was not knowing all those things. Then he took me to a place called Bamboo Lim. The Goa Medical College is there in Bamboo Lim. From there, I took university bus to reach university campus. I'm talking about the year 1994-95. So it was a very different kind of experience for me to reaching another part of my country. So it's a basically journey. Today I recall that how much pain I took, and if my guide could not have helped with money, I could have given thought, no, I am not going, I am going back to Bengal. But something, some inner sense drives me, let me try, give a try and go there, and whichever way is possible, I'll reach there. I've reached and I met professor, because I reached little very early morning around 7 o'clock. So university starts around 9:30, 10 o'clock. So I have to wait at university campus. I went to department, botany department. I could see microbiology, biotechnology, marine science, all those departments side by side. This is a nice, beautiful campus. I like the atmosphere like anything. It is a beautiful place in Goa. So its place is called Taligao Plateau. It's a, is a, is a hill surrounded by, and the university campus is there. So I introduced to Professor Bhatt. He is the head of the department. That I told that I have come to face interview, and Professor B.F. Rodriguez told me to come, and I have come. He took me, I remember, at his residence. He offered me breakfast and other things. He then took me to guest house. Meantime, Rodriguez used to live in Margao. It is Professor Rodriguez used to live in Margao. Around 10:30, I reached. After from guest house, I reached to university, and he interviewed me. I told what are the works I have done. Finally, he gave me opportunity to work as an SRF, it's a CSIR fellowship project. I was very excited that time. Fellowship was close to 25, 2600 plus HRA, getting 3200 rupees. It's a big money for me that time. It's very big opportunity for me. So it was a project related to different thing, that there are a lot of mining industry. When you extract the iron ore, there are a lot of afforestation programming that is going on. There is a VA mycorrhiza is very important, because VA mycorrhiza has got a lot of properties. It can bind the plants. Has capability to break down this complex iron ore into soil form. So those are the part of afforestation program. My job is to go to mines. So whatever cultivated plants, we used to make a lot of VA mycorrhiza with different strains inside laboratory. So we used to take all those things, taking to greenhouse, making mass culture, taking to field and applying. It was a very interesting journey. I thought this is a nice thing. I am doing it. Meantime, we took a lot of photographs and all those things. Then I went to Hyderabad University for identification of VA mycorrhiza. Met in Hyderabad University Professor Manohar Charya. He is a very famous person, all the way from Goa to Hyderabad University. Stayed there for 10 days, getting identified all those VA mycorrhizal strain, carrying the slides. I remember I used to live in the Hyderabad University guest house. We used to have nice breakfast. So 10 days, all identification done. Professor Manoharchari identified the slide with a sticker. I went back to Goa. In that, Goa has given me enormous opportunity to attend national, international conferences, talking to different, because I was very, even though I am a student from botany, I used to have a lot of interaction with microbiology, biotechnology, marine science. Lot of speaker used to come from different universities abroad and used to conduct seminar. We used to attend thing. I used to ask many questions. People used to say, why unnecessary asking question? But I don't care. Asking question means doesn't bother me. If it is relevant, irrelevant in different subjects, biotechnology, whatever curiosity, I used to ask question. I used to also give presentation on history of science, so biotechnology development, how these things taken place. It was a very interesting get together kind of thing, taking a small room, discussing, calling different department people will come and discuss. So ask question on various issues. It was a good thing. Sometimes asking too much question is also people think without knowing asking question, because what question you are asking, sometimes they feel it is irrelevant. I used to ask very hard question. Sometimes the other part, I even if I know the answer, the other part is not able to clarify. Never used to ask cross question, but I could get certain feelings, probably he doesn't have the answer, I have the answer. So forget it. So it was, I know the how education system, if you go get deeper into the problem of any syllabus or any subject, you will find that there are some question which is very interlinking kind of thing. So there will be some kind of philosophical interpretation of those things. For that purpose, you need to have deeper understanding of particular subject. So I used to ignore, but I used to have a lot of communication. I used to have physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics department, all those department, all professor I used to be very close, because we used to meet in canteen. The new fellow has come in the campus. They used to have a lot of excitement. My guide Rodriguez used to introduce to everybody. This was a very good, nice atmosphere. Meantime, I had submitted my PhD thesis. I took leave and went to my original place, submitted my thesis. I got PhD award. Within 2.5 years, I could complete 3 years maximum. I think from starting to in 3.5 years, I can complete. I have got the PhD certificate. That is a good thing. Getting a certificate, that is a good thing, that you can say you are PhD officially, you are doctorate. Until or unless you get the certificate, so you won't be recognized. You cannot apply for any postdoc or anything. So I used to have interaction with NIO, National Institute of Oceanography, it's a CSI research laboratory. So microbiology department, marine science department, biotechnology. I remember those days, like we used to have national conference, used to give papers, presentation. So then, meantime, I met a gentleman in this university campus. He is Professor Bikram Dasgupta. Why I want to tell you this story, Professor meeting Bikram Dasgupta, is changed my life totally. One day, because he is Bengali connection, like no, he knows that some Bengali fellow come to the department for this thing. In canteen, we met and discussed. They told you come to my chamber, because each professor used to give a cabin in chemistry department. He used to sit. So I heard a lot of things about him. He's a very knowledgeable person. He's from Switzerland. He is completed his postdoc from Switzerland. I was told he worked under Nobel laureate in Switzerland. In Zurich, he used to live. It was very interesting. I told one day with a fear, I went inside his cabin. He told me to sit. I have seen he used to put his legs on table. So he used to smoke a lot. He is a chain smoker. So first day meeting, I could see there are a lot of books around. So many books, apart from chemistry, physics, biology, thermodynamics, lot of biography books. So I used to be very confused. These are all books, his personal books kept inside the cabin. It was very interesting. I thought that those books, why he's keeping. Like that, gradually, I used to meet him, continues to go. Like that, some respect and friendship we have developed. So finally, he told that, look, if you want to do good biology, you need to know mathematics, physics, chemistry, many things you need to learn because science, if you want to do it, there is some interdisciplinary thing you need to correlate. Then he told me the history of how genetic DNA structure, double helix. He has given Richard Feynman's biography. Like that, many things he used to give me that you read, you will understand. I was thinking that what is the relevance of reading all those things? Today I am realizing he could give me a lot of books to read the history of science, then world history, Marxism, Leninism. I used to see this gentleman is covering the whole world, the entire dimension and all the thing. How come it's possible? Sir, what is the relevance between your physics and Marxism, Leninism? He used to give me books on Buddha, all those things. I used to think that what is happening, like no. For me, it is very difficult to initially see this person. Now I am correlating. He is a very genius fellow. He used to do painting, used to write all theoretical physics, theoretical biology. I mean, you are a teacher in chemistry. You are reading this thing. He told it is very important to correlate for my own knowledge. I am learning. I think it's very good thing probably. So he used to give lot of books. I used to read little bit. Something I used to understand, something I used to forget. So in that time, what had happened? There is one international conference conducted from our department, and it was conducted at a international kind of a place close to NIO, National Institute of Oceanography. So man like John Webster from London, he was invited as a special guest. We have read John Webster's fungal collection books. He is a famous author in our area. So he is from London University, John Webster. So I remember he came and I presented two papers. So I was thinking my with my guide one paper that is related to mycorrhiza, the association. This is one paper, and another paper in correlation with Professor Bikram Das Gupta. He told that you do something correlating some factors with some modeling, you do it. I was not knowing what is modeling. I used to know what is modeling means, going in a nice dress and take picture and all. That is only the modeling I used to know. No, he told this is not the modeling, you need to do the mathematical modeling. So he gave me a book of mathematical modeling. I thought this is the first time I'm hearing all those things. There is something called mathematical modeling. So it was very interesting, and Goa University has got a big library over there, little away from my laboratory. I used to go and read. There are a number of books, history of science, origin of species. There is a new library, used to have thousands of books. I used to sit in the library and read all those things. So it was very interesting for me to know, cover up many subjects because my curiosity was there. Then Das Gupta sir also is helping me to know all those things. So I could prepare a paper finally because of my PhD work. I thought rather than identification, let us have some philosophical understanding of it. I gave a paper on mathematical modeling of symbiotic system. So after reading the environmental science and other things for a long time, I could realize that there is a subject to understand the nature, how the fungus host relationship is there. We know parasitism, we know symbiosis, other things, those terminology. Why we are not able to draw a mathematical model where in symbiotic system there must be some equilibrium, because when fungus attack intercellular space, occupy the fungal space, Can we quantify by microscopic analysis what is the intercellular space? And we can draw a constant that finally both host and fungus both are living together. So there must be some understanding, either biochemical understanding or fungal biomass, because finally this fungus is going to invade inside the cell line, used to use the intercellular space. So this space calculation through cross section, you can calculate the intercellular space. Taking different staining, you can literally calculate. Finally, I could prepare a paper of mathematical modeling of symbiotic system with help from another professor, Dr. Nandakumar Kamath. He is also a nice man. He is having a lot of theoretical understanding. He used to appreciate me a lot that, Paul, you do this thing. Then I went there, he got little correction. We made a paper and finally we have submitted this paper for mathematical modeling on symbiotic system. There we showed that how in nature this system is occurring naturally, fungus and host. The plant is living without affecting, because there are a lot of parasitism when it occurs. The same fungus attacks, it kills the plant. So there is a difference between parasitism and symbiosis. So I have drawn those calculations with a mathematical model that in nature is a beautiful thing, probably where your fungus, two organism can live without affecting anybody. So this paper was appreciated by John Webster like anything. He told that it's a very new kind of understanding of nature. I was very excited that I told her, sir, this is what I have, my own idea. I could do mathematically what is possible. So he told me, I asked him, he out of talking, he told, sir, do you have any fellowship in your place so that I can go and work? So he told that right now I don't have. Probably you can write to me if there is something I'm interested to work with you, and you can come to UK and something I could do. This is what it struck me, that I have done something which I have ignored, an interaction with multidisciplinary thing. Probably I have written something this gentleman appreciated, and there must be some qualities in the paper. Then I kept little hope that probably I understand certain thing. This is then I used to write, send paper to Elsevier and all those journal for normal our work. My guide is to take care, but this work guide is not liking such kind of work, because this theoretical thing is something it requires, because it has got a lot of imagination. He doesn't. He's a practical man. Like, he knows that those things to be identified. Those things, but my interest was little different. I want to try to correlate lot of things: biology, mathematics, physics, calculating all those things, mathematics, deep calculation, and trying to say that this organism or this association is symbiotic because there is a constant value and there is a break even point. There are a lot of things in nature. The concept of equilibrium, if anybody is knowing, probably in nature, in normally in the plants, like, what kind of root association is there for long term, they develop certain kind of sustainable model inside the rhizosphere. That is what is very interesting part. Like, they are living millions of years without affecting anybody's. Like, this is a symbiotic, and some are infecting with releasing a lot of metabolites that kills the plant, the root, they damage it. Gradually plants die. Those papers. Finally, after that, I wrote to John Webster, I remember, but I have not got any reply. And after second year or third year in my Goa, then again I wrote to him. He written to me, I do not have any money to funding you, but I'd love to continue it. But I had always that hope that this is a beautiful thing, that mathematical modeling. So that modeling, then I used to interact with Professor Bikram Das Gupta. He told me, why you are staying in the guest house? Why don't you come to my house? He took me to his house. He told, you can stay with me. So it was a very interesting thing. His professor is telling I can stay with him. I accepted this thing. I have stayed for more than 1.5 years. I remember we used to have a lot of interaction with Professor Dasgupta. He used to write poetry, literature, painting. We used to do all exercise. We used to tell, study this book, some biography here, there, like no, all those books he used to give me. Some is of my interest, some are not out of interest. Then after 1.5 years, after staying with him, I learned many things from him. Then we have conducted one nature society transformation. He had an idea that he wants to have a sustainable model kind of conference which will be inside the jungle. So we made name. I remember those years, like no 97 or 98. I am not able to clear the exact year, but it will be either 97 or 98. So I used to work for this conference. It is a private thing. His friend circle and known circle. He knows few people in Switzerland and some people in Germany, wherever he worked. He told those are the people will be some people will come from Mumbai, some will be coming from other place, Kerala. So it was fine. Like there are altogether 18, 20 people. We went to a place, jungle, where we sat, we presented paper and everything. This is the first nature, society, and transformation I presented. I remember a small paper because I was conducting this conference with Dr. Dasgupta, making posters. So everybody's accommodation, many things are required. So where to stay and I think 2 days we have spent and discussed various issues. This is the first kind of conference I could see in a small group discussing various issues, nature, society, transformation. It was quite interesting. But meantime, my guide, when he knew that I am doing such kind of activities, he was little annoyed. Well, those are the things. It is not going to give you anything. But I told sir, I am doing all those things in my leisure time. So I am doing my job, sir. Still, he told, no, 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 this is not. You are not supposed to do all those things. Those are things. Is nothing is going to happen. Those are madness. So I thought, let us not let us not argue and all those things. Then I usually used to be very regular, 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock. I used to be there in my department. I used to work, whatever job is there. After that, I used to go back. So after that, again, Professor Dasgupta, he was changing house. Then I shifted my house. I was not living with him for my last days. So he used to live alone. So a lot of paintings, lot of work we used to do. We used to prepare food, and there are some my friend Sarkar used to come from. He's from Bangladesh. He used to study mathematics. He was a very good friend of mine. So we have a lot of friends who were there. Night used to roam inside campus like anything. So that time STD facilities was there. Used to call from Goa to my native place. So calling my brother, sister, and all that time, mobile was not there. So it was a fine and interesting thing in Goa stay that I have learned many things. And Dr. Dasgupta and Dr. Prabhat Sharma is from London University. He is from plant physiology. He used to call me, he used to find me is interesting when I used to question because he has a strong analytical mind, Dr. Prabhat Sharma. I really remember different conferences. He used to tell me that, look, this is a good exercise what you are doing. I used to feel very happy that somebody is telling good because I used to see he's from London University when he has potential to go to London University. That is a big thing. So I used to give him a lot of respect that he's doing great job. He's also got good publications. So beyond that, there are many things. It's a never-ending story. But finally, what I want to tell, I have learned many things. There is something called multidisciplinary thing to learn all those things. Learning, there are some political debates also used to have in the Latin American studies in the university campus. The other political science department I used to participate. I used to recite Bengali poetry in Goa, in Kokni. Nobody used to know what is that. I used to be in the dais and reciting Bengali poetry. Then people used to say that which language you are speaking. I used to say from Bengali language. I was very happy. They are not knowing that I told in India there are so many languages you can speak in any language. So they used to not used to understand what kind of language it is. So it is a good thing that I have learned that time the communication skill, because when you are changing from your motherland, only Bangla, it's like living in France. Only you have to fix French. If you go to Italy, you have to go speak only Italian, no other language. So in Bengal also, you are very proud to speak in Bengali, that you only communicate with Bengali, no other language. If you speak Hindi or any English, or you will feel that this fellow is something different, though they will start not communicating with you. So Bengalis, French, they are very, very, very reserved, very protected in that sense. In their language, they speak Hindi. No, in Bengal you cannot speak. Nowadays, people are speaking Hindi, but English, okay, official language. Sometimes they use it, but most of the time, while communicating to one on personal level, it is all in mother language. But in Goa, it is very good for me to learn English like anything. I have learned how to communicate, how to write many things, because my baseline was Bangla, to learning Hindi, then learning English. Communicating, it's a very difficult, because communication and writing English paper is totally different. Communication skill, the vocabulary you have on day-to-day basis communication, that is different from writing your research paper. Friends, what I'm trying to tell over here, it is very interesting journey to start from your childhood to up to PhD postdoc. Then I used to go to NIU. I used to have a lot of exercise and used to go to mines. I get into the deeper of the mines, cultivate a lot of plants which are capable to withstand that kind of adverse mining conditions, like selection, putting VA mycorrhiza, going whole day and working, cultivating. So those are the time. It is not easy, like if you take kind of a field job. So days passed like that. Then after that, I have applied for the university. There is, after that, I have PhD degree. There is a associate or assistant professor's post in my department. I have also applied. Finally, that system how it works. I had interviewed many times. Bengal also, I have applied for many posts. My sister gave me money. I came to Bengal, given lecturership position. It was interviewed for just 2 minutes, entering, giving the CV, giving the PhD thesis. Then they say, just it's done, you go. I do not know what kind of interview they conduct within 2, 3, 4 minutes, or this is quite confusing. That's why I don't like to get into that topic. It's very interesting to know, to tell that I have also tried and applied for college or university position. Similarly, Goa University also I have applied for assistant professor post. I thought probably I was not a bad student. I had publication, many things probably I can communicate. The students used to love me like anything. I used to take lectures. I used to go to different colleges. I used to write for Goa different magazine, like they have Gomantak. There are a lot of English morning newspaper, because that time I was needing money. So somebody told, Dr. Kamath told, that if you write for this thing, each article you are going to get 200-300 rupees. So it was fascinating for me to write a article, getting it published in the newspaper. I remember every week I used to write 2-3 articles, so it is close to 800 to 900 rupees based on 250 to 300 rupees. It's a good exercise. I told it's a pocket money, nice thing. So I have written close to 30, 40 every week. I used to write. I used to sit in the library and any topic, write and give it to the newspaper. Those things help me in understanding the whole science and dynamics. This is not because money is required. From money legally, if you want to earn money, it's a very, very tough job. The point what I want to make it, it is not easy to earn money. To make money, you have to have your technology that I have in your mind. And I was thinking that to do something, but I was not knowing what to do. I have a lot of ideas, but I'm not able to channelize, not into put into a proper platform, so that I thought probably those ideas can be translated and those technologies can be taken by somebody, so that I can make my living, because those kind of project is not going to give you something to run your family. What you are going to do with 3,000 rupees? 3,000 rupees, if you marry also, you cannot feed your wife. So, giving rent, you need to have this kind of thing. So, those kind of things, lot of fight was going on in between my head and mind. Like, no, those things are very common. So, I was trying to find out some opportunities, and the CSR fellowship, with any fellowship, it has got some timings. So if fellowship is over, what after that? What you are going to do it? That is a big question. So I used to get into some private jobs and go up after CSR fellowship, where I used to take the market because I have an MBA degree. So I never used to show my PhD degree. I only used to show my graduation degree wherever is required. I used to work for a Tata Yellow page that time, telephone directory, and this much advertisement if you collect. I was to work very hard because I was much more worried about that what is going to happen. Like my fellow thing doesn't come, that I need minimum amount of money, 3-4 thousand rupees to run at least to stay. So I used to work, and I used to go after fellowship was over. I used to go and work for 6 months. Then I was thinking that this is not a good thing that is happening in Goa. There is nothing absolutely. I have not selected for the university position. I was not keen to also get into further research with any kind of CSR fellowship and all. So those things are simply, I thought it's a waste of time. Let me search something, some industry where things related to my likings. So a lot of product manager used to come to the university campus just to sell bioreactor, fermenters, centrifuge, and all. So I casual to a fellow who used to handle Vibron Germany centrifuge and fermenters bioreactor for different cultures, for mammalian cell culture, bacterial culture. It was a very interesting, fascinating thing for me to know. And I told him, "Do you have any job in your company?" He gave me his card. He told, "Why don't you apply? You are a PhD guy." I told, "It's a good thing." So I applied. So my interview came. I went to Chennai and I got the job. I went to Chennai and got the job. My posting was there in Mumbai. Then I had to shift from Goa to Mumbai. It was a different journey altogether, and it was a new experience. So I worked and reached to Mumbai. I didn't have anybody to stay. I have stayed a few days at railway station in Mumbai. So hoping that there will be somebody. Then I had some contacts. One of the friend from Sophia College who went to Nature Society transformation. I had his number. I stayed at his home for 2-3 days. Then I got my house, rented house, and I got some financial help from home. Then finally I got a shelter. There is nothing absolutely. It's an open room with a toilet and bathroom. So I used to sleep on floor. There is nothing, even kerosene stove. So this was a very interesting journey for me to get into landed to Mumbai, getting a house, getting a job. The first job I got in Mumbai from Chennai company. My posting is there Mumbai. It is just 6,500 rupees salary. That is rent also has to be paid from 6,500 rupees. This is quite interesting. Like, if I pay 2,500 rupees rent and rest money you have to spend whole month, it is very very difficult for me to survive. I was thinking, I had in my mind, but this is not the right job. Till I felt, no, okay, I have joined this company, let me stick to the company. So it's a B Brown Biotech International German company, and I thought I learned something. That is what my idea, how to design the bioreactor and all those things. I used to sell. I used to go to different institutes like BRC, all those TFR, wherever products are required. All those research institute I used to go, and I used to look after entire Mumbai. It was a very happy journey. Like 2-3 years, like I have worked, like I have developed my own contacts, understanding the product, that is more important. Then after 2 years, I think I have joined another company Emil Limited. This is a little better company and little higher salary, around 12 or 15,000 in between. So it was very interesting. I used to have office in VT. That time, family used to pressurize me that why don't you marry? So I don't have any plan like whom to marry. In this case, earning money like peanuts. If you marry somebody, it is very difficult to run a family with this limited money. So that thought was not there in my mind. Friends, finally, when pressure came, my sister told Shanta, told that I have seen a girl for you. It's more from my friend's friend. She's just completed M.Tech from Calcutta University. For me, M.Tech is like something that why M.Tech girl is going to marry me. I told no, 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 this is not possible. I do not have any kind of financial assistance that I'll be able to handle a M.Tech person. Without thinking, I told no. So finally, my sister told that why don't you meet? And I told this meeting is no way, like no, how it is possible to meet. I cannot say that I earn this much money and I do not have the capability to feed. Then finally, in 1999, I believe I went to Calcutta and my sister arranged, friends arranged to meet and we sat and discussed. I told that I don't have money, I earn this much money. For you can marry better person who can you look after your M.Tech. M.Tech first class first from Calcutta University. It's a big thing. Why, like ordinary person, you want to marry? Then we sat in a place and discussed. I told that we met and discussed. So what is there to discuss? I am not in a position because I explained everything that this is what my status, this is what I am earning, this is the thing. I live in a small house in Mumbai. You go and talk to your parents and ask, since it is arranged marriage, we met close to in Rajabaja Science College, close to Bose Institute, Sai Institute of Nuclear Physics in Rajabaja. She passed out from Rajabaja Science College. So we met there and we had a half an hour discussion. This is one-to-one discussion. I told this is what my status. You go back. Probably I don't have any problem. If you do not have the problem, probably I will convey my message to my family. You probably can convey to your message. Probably I think it is not possible. I from my strong belief. So I dropped her at her residence, took a car. This is the only thing probably I went back to Mumbai. After 1 month, there is nothing absolutely, there is no communication. I thought probably it's a dropped idea. And finally, from my present wife's house, they have conveyed Joy. He is a catalyst, negotiator. He informed that they are interested and she is also interested. I told Joy again that it's not possible. You say that because they are also searching boys because she is having such a beautiful academic qualification from a good family. I do not like to spoil her career after coming in my life. That is what my intention I want to say because I was not feeling comfortable. So finally, she was very, very kind of fixed mind. She told, I want to marry you, but I have only one condition that I want to continue my further studies like PhD and other things. I told, look, I am ready to do whatever best possible thing in this world to complete your PhD or complete your whatever you want to do it. But I can assure you, at least I won't be able to give you much better, very luxury kind of thing, sustainability kind of thing. There are not many things, but at least I can provide you twice food. That is probably you will be able to manage it and you can complete your PhD wherever. I think I remember She took admission to Mumbai IIT. She went, met a guide because she had very good score. Then she went to UD City, finally, that is University Chemical Technology under Mumbai University. Now it's a deemed university near Matunga. She got a guide and nice. She has completed on separation system, and I think she took 3.5 years to complete the PhD. She worked very hard. She was a very sincere student and all those things. After that, we used to live in place like Kallan. She used to travel and go to for PhD research. After completing PhD, she joined Hindustan Lever as a research associate kind of thing. That is in Andheri. She used to go early morning and do all kind of exercise. It's very tough life. So we used to have the first flat in Kallan that time. We took some loan and bought a small flat. So there is some shelter to celebrate. Like it's a good one step. First we had a rented house in a place Dombivli. Then we got the house. It was a good atmosphere. Like it was a nice, fantastic atmosphere. Traveling, I used to work for the company and doing all kind of things. He used to do it. Afterwards, she got into BRC as a scientific officer. She's now is doing absolutely fine. She's a scientific officer. It's basically in the government of India. She's a gazetted officer and very senior level now, and she's doing very nice job there. And I like her seriousness towards her studies, taking a lot of PhD students. So as a guide, she is also associate professor for. Uh, she is the scientific officer that is a kind of a scientist. She is scientist in BRC plus she is also carrying out her teaching activities and taken a lot of students for PhD. So this is a good thing she was doing, and she is regularly going to university even in COVID time. Also, she's going to BRC, and I was doing my own activities, what I was doing. So I'll come back to you probably in next session about my journey of doing and promoting my own technologies in my next presentation. So I'll come back to you after some time. Thank you very much.